Chairwoman Velasquez and Congressman Chabot, it is an honor to be here today. I also have three very special guests with me here today. I have my daughter and my son and our au pair from Brazil, my daughter Ellie Stiles, my son Rhett Stiles, and Jennifer Medina de Almeida, who is from Brazil on the State Department program.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. I've been a passionate defender of small business both inside and outside the government, and it really does give me great pleasure to be here today. I only wish that I had a more positive story to tell you. Our patchwork system for small business contracting just isn't working, and it isn't working for anybody. Our country's small businesses, our federal contracting officers, our federal agencies, or the U.S. taxpayer. We've created such a complex amalgamation of laws, regulations, and policies that even the best of lawyers are really struggling to figure out the maze right now. How exactly, then, can we expect small businesses with limited resources or contracting officers at the GS-12 and GS-13 level to understand this hodgepodge system? There is a reason that fraud, abuse, and even simple errors are on the increase. Very few people understand the system. There aren't resources at SBA to understand the questions, and those who do understand it can manipulate it to their benefit. In essence, we have half the contracting officers spending double the money in a constantly changing and complex regulatory environment with little training on small business issues. On the small business side, the complexity of the programs is a significant barrier to entry. Many small businesses give up trying to understand the regulatory complexities or make significant errors in application with little help from SBA. Those inclined to commit fraud or to abuse the system have a complex and changing structure within which to hide their misdeeds. It is not a wonder that the system is experiencing problems. And while many of the legislative changes you are considering today are perfectly targeted at solving real problems, there will be unintended consequences of adding a new layer of complexity that our overburdened federal contracting workforce will have difficulty implementing and small businesses will have difficulty understanding. Frequent changes to these programs also make it difficult to identify and ferret out fraud and abuse in the system. But let me give you a few real-world examples that I have found in the practice of law very recently. Last week, I got a call from an old client of mine. She's an 8A firm, and she'd just bid on 9 different contracts that had been sent to her from one contract specialist. The RFPs, the request for proposals, had been sent from the contract specialist's home email. Almost simultaneous with those RFPs, the contract specialist sent requests for this 8A company to buy Hawaiian candles and to host a Hawaiian candle party for her as well. Lo and behold, when my 8A client ignored and properly ignored the Hawaiian candle request, 7 contracts in a row were awarded to a Hawaiian company. Each award to the Hawaiian company was cents lower than my 8A client's offer. And it wasn't until she complained about the abuse that she was actually awarded one of those 9 contracts. I can also tell you that I get a number of calls from large businesses because they've been contacted by one-person 8A companies that have a deal to supply a federal agency with a particular product. The 8A, this one individual, acts as a pass-through for the large business. The 8A does nothing but act as a pass-through. The large business gets a sale, the agencies meet their small business numbers, and the only loser there is really the taxpayer. But what is driving this problem? It's legal, but I think abusive. There's a lot of pressure on the agencies to meet their small business goals, and they find ways to do it, some of which I think we would all consider to be improper and abusive. And I don't think the goal of the 8A program is to enrich one individual by passing through a product without adding value. But that is the reality of the small business contracting world for small businesses, one that seems, I think, almost accepting of the abuse. So what can we do to solve these problems? I don't have a magic wand, but I do think you can simplify the process. You can reduce the barriers to entry, eliminate the vast opportunities for error and fraud, and eliminate the ridiculous numbers of representations and certifications our small businesses must make every day. The best place to start is what I reference as a single automated point of entry, a place where a small business could go enter the data about their company, and find out whether they are actually small and what programs for which they're eligible, to certify that the information they've supplied is accurate and complete, and seek approvals of their joint ventures and mentor-protege agreements. Without monumental effort, SBA should be able to take this data, verify the information submitted, and give it to contracting officers electronically through the central contractor registration. It sounds simple, and frankly, it is and should be simple. It takes out multiple layers of process and room for error and abuse on the small business side and the federal contracting side. I think the barriers to entry should be low, the statutes and regulations should be clear and easy to understand, and the information regarding these programs should be accurate. That concludes my prepared remarks, but I'm very happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you.